Hello, hello. Can you guys hear me? Oh, let me look at the chat real fast. If you can hear me and you can see me, please, please, please drop a one in the chat. You know how we do. Y'all know how we do. Always gotta ask. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Am I coming through clear? Yes, Miss Ebony, Miss Crystal, Miss Christina. Thank you. Thank you kindly. Yes. How y'all like this? Did the team cook with this background a little bit? Hold on, let me put the how are y'all doing? How are y'all doing tonight? Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate y'all for being here. Y'all took the time out to see little old me. Uh-huh. I'm scrolling through the chat and nobody answered the question I see. What y'all want to learn about tonight? Mm-hmm. 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 Nope, nobody told me what they wanted to learn. Oh, Amber said everything. Y'all, Amber said she's trying to learn everything. Okay, Amber. All right, we're gonna get started in a few minutes. Y'all know how the plug do in pure plug fashion. We gotta wait for a couple people to come into the room. So in the meantime, do me a favor and just lock in with me real fast. Okay? If you're on your phone, get your trigger finger screenshot fingers ready, because if you know, you know. If you know, you know. I'm definitely gonna sprinkle some gems within this presentation. Y'all, I'm a little bit nervous, so don't mind me. I haven't done this in a while, but thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate y'all for what is it on this good Thursday night at 8 p.m. All right, I love it here. All right, let's see what we got going on. All right, looks like Ebony wants to learn about housing. Ooh, housing, girl, housing is expensive, but you gotta know how to do it right. Housing options. Sylvia says she wants to learn everything. Brianna says she wants to learn about how to find high-paying jobs. Get them screenshot fingers ready. We'll give our peeps a couple more minutes to come in. And in the meantime, drop your specialties. Drop your specialties, drop what area you're in. I need to know who I'm talking to. I need to know who I'm talking to. Because first of all, I am going to be super, super duper vulnerable with y'all tonight. This is not something that I am used to. So, with that being said, I want y'all to get comfortable, get your pen and pads out. Um, I will attempt to try to keep this at least under like an hour and a half because I know it's super late on the East Coast. So I want to make sure that you guys are getting the information on time. I wanted to get as many people pack the room out as possible so that way you guys can click on links, y'all can do some screenshots. Just a little bit of housekeeping rules first and foremost. Looks like Ebony is in Tennessee. Piece of you, Tennessee. I see some of the OGs in the house. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I see a couple OG names. Monique. I see a couple close friends in the house. Hillary. Okay. I see y'all. Brianna. I see some OGs in here. I appreciate y'all for showing up time and time and time and time and time and time again. I love y'all to the moon and back, literally. But just a couple housekeeping rules when you come in. Please just try to keep your mics on mute if it's possible. I'm going to go through the presentation literally as fast as I can. So that way we can get through the information in a timely fashion. It's already 15 past 5. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we're going to be all right. Also, make sure you have your pen and paper because there's going to be some things that I'm going to, like I said, I'm sprinkling some gems. First and foremost, some of the gems are going to be on the slide, but a lot of the gems are going to be through word of mouth. So I'm just going to kind of guide you through my journey from start to finish. And most of the information that I'll be telling you will be verbal. So I want to make sure that you don't miss anything. Number three, this is actually going to be recorded. It's recorded as we speak. So I just want to make sure that everybody comes in. You're going to be recorded, but it's okay if you have your cameras off. You're also going to be muted, so you'll be okay. But towards the end of the Q&A session, you can either do one of two things. You can either go to the top of your screen and click on the raise hand button, or it's on the bottom. I think it's on the bottom. Your raise hand button, and we'll get through the Q&A session at the end. I will be super candid. You can ask me literally any question that you want, and you can either type it in the chat box and I'll go through it on the chat box, or you can unmute yourself, you can turn on your camera, and we can vibe. I am here for as long as you need me to be. It's 5:16 on on the West Coast, so that means I'm off tonight. So that means I got time to talk to y'all and to pour my heart out to y'all and open up this brain of mine so that way you guys can get the info. So if you're ready to get started, no, you're not gonna miss nothing, Teresa. Don't worry, we got you. Everybody at the end is going to get an email that's going to have a recording, the recording link on there. So you'll be able to review it for your viewing pleasure. And then also hit me in my DM. You can always hit me in my DM. So if you are excited to get this started, drop a 2 in the chat. Let me know that you're ready so we can get started. We're going to give our peeps a couple more minutes for them to come in. Thank you, Lucky. Crystal, you excited? Yes, girl. All right, with Silva, Lucky. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for being on your P's and Q's. I appreciate that. You're in New Hampshire? Why? Decided last Friday just to come pick up some shifts. That's my girl. That's my girl. That's my girl. So yeah, we're gonna be learning a couple things, a couple topics. All right, perfect. It's 5:17. So with your permission, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Get your pens and papers out because I am going to be teaching you guys how to hit 100K plus. Okay? We're not gonna do this burnout. Absolutely. Silva, hold on to that at the very end. I'm gonna get into all of that. I promise you. I'll get into all of it. Yes, I have my assistant is here in the chat, so he's gonna be helping me moderate the chat as well, so that way I don't miss anything. So if you do drop something and it seems like I'm not talking about it at that moment, we'll hold on to it and I'll talk about it at the end. Is that cool? Awesome sauce. So yes, welcome to my first edition of my PRN high income webinar. My name is Nurse Lovely. I am an ICU nurse and I have beat this thing called per diem nursing. I don't know. It seems as if it's a science, is what I'm learning at the end of the day, is that it's a science. And it took me a couple years for me to get it down pat. And I feel like I've got it down to a science to where I can duplicate the results with my eyes closed and I can teach it to y'all, which is exactly what I'm going to do tonight. So I am going to show you the strategies, 3 in particular, that seem easy. But to be honest with you, a lot of nurses or healthcare professionals, they haven't really gotten this down pat. I think that these are the 3 things that catapulted me into the success that you see now. And I'm proud of these strategies that I have applied to myself over the past 3 years. And I'm proud to share them with you. You'd be surprised how easy some of these strategies are. And I hope that starting tonight, that you can take away some of these points and use them in your personal practice. So that way you can secure, if you're not making 6 figures as of yet, you can make it starting 2026 and beyond. I want y'all to like super duper duper surpass me. Like, I'm trying to log in on Instagram one day and see that you guys have a reel saying that I done made $1 million off per diem nursing or whatever number it is. We're manifesting tonight, if that's okay. We're manifesting. Poor child. Uh, so this picture. So I remember back in the days, if I could share, I'm going to share a couple stories. I'm going to sprinkle them throughout this presentation, if that's okay with y'all. So I remember this picture. So this picture that's on the left, oh my God. So this was actually my very first day being a nurse on the floor. For those of you who may or may not know me, I actually live in South Florida and I work in Southern California. So pretty much after the pandemic happened, I was like, oh, I kind of spent way too much money, just a little bit. And so I said to myself that I wanted to stick my foot into the pond of a pool of nursing that would allow me to make pretty much the same exact income, if not close to it, in the pre-pandemic days. Because if you know, you know, for those of you who worked during the pandemic, we were like, it was like hand over fist. The checks were just kind of rolling in. And so I knew it wasn't sustainable and I knew it wasn't something that was going to last forever. So I wanted to get into another section of nursing that was like, okay, well, you know, maybe I don't have to work 3 days a week. Maybe there's something that I could do. So one day I was literally on a phone call with 2 of my best friends, And one of them just said, "Hey, like, did you know that there are facilities, there are agencies in California that you don't even have to be a staff. You don't have to work there, so to speak, as an employee. But what you could do is you can credential with third-party agencies and they can literally just drop and plug you in. And like you don't have to be an employee, you don't have to get the benefits, you don't have to be full-time, part-time. Like it's literally called per diem. And I knew something about it, but I didn't know at an agency capacity. Because in Florida, I wasn't really plugged in like that. I was just kind of just doing my 312s and just walking out the door. Because one thing about per diem nursing and one thing about the income that you can potentially make, it's your environment. I don't think a lot of people realize that environment is super duper important when it comes to how much money you could stand to make as far as the spectrum of how high and how little you can make. When I was working as a staff in South Florida, shout out to Bethesda Hospital East. That's the only staff job I've ever had in my entire nursing career. The nurses that I work with, they only work 3 shifts a week. That was it. And so at the time, I was only working 3 shifts a week. I don't know. It was just it's a matter of habit. Cause like if the people around you aren't really hustling like that, you ain't gonna hustle like that. I mean, am I right or wrong? So the thing is that when I was working at the hospital, I was like super broke. Like put drop a two in the chat if like your bills are on auto pay. Like they're on it. Like you don't have to worry about it. You don't log into your account. You don't really like the bills just come out. Like you obviously check your account to make sure that you know what your bank balance is, but drop a two in the chat if your bills are on auto pay. Cause I'm gonna shout you out right now. I'm gonna shout you out right. Carrie, shout out to you. Hillary, shout out to you. Lakeisha, Santana, shout out to you. Sylvia, yes, this is how life is supposed to be. This is how you know you're responsible. And for those of you that aren't, it's okay because my bills are still not on auto pay. Fun fact. So for those of you who do and who's been having bills on auto pay, shout out to you because mine weren't, still aren't. I was literally living, I don't even think it was paycheck to paycheck. It was like paycheck to like 3 days after payday. I was already like in overdraft. I was already getting hit with the ding with the overdraft fees and it wasn't because I was living above my means. I was living within my means. I wasn't spending nothing. So I ended up having to get a home health job. So I was working ICU at night. I started working as an ICU nurse in 2018 to infinity and beyond. So I was working 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. I was working in the MICU. And then from like 8 a.m. to like 1 p.m. I was working as a home health nurse. I was traveling. I was tired. I did it for years. I did it for years until boom, 2020 happened. So that's my sad sob story. So for those of you that are in this position right now, you don't have to say it out loud, but just remember, I was there. I used to be that girl that could barely afford things. That literally the only thing that was coming out of my account was just bills and rent, and that was it. And I felt like I was in this hamster wheel. And at some point, psychologically, like mentally, it gets to you. That after a while, it's like you see other people. Here comes social media, living their lives, and it's like, what am I doing differently? But it's like you're not doing anything differently. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to do. It's just you just gotta finesse. That's all. That's why you're here. This is an earnings disclaimer. Once I got to a point where I was like, I think I got it. 2023 was the year that I made the absolute most. I had that dog in me. And I know some of y'all in here know exactly what I'm talking about. When you're on like that generational run and you're just like back to back to back, it just got to a point where I was just like, you know what? This has to work. It has to. So I literally turned myself from a strictly day shift nurse. I said, oh, night shift. I was like, I'm not doing night shift ever. So I turned myself into a hybrid nurse. So I was like, you know what? I noticed that a lot of the shifts that I was picking up, because at the time in 2023, I was using a lot of the shift apps. If you know, you know. If you know if you remember CareRev, drop a one in the chat. If you remember CareRev. CareRev used to bump. If you could see on the right side of the screen with the screenshot in 2023, CareRev is like 1, 2, 3. There's 4 entries and 3 out of 4 of them are CareRev. CareRev used to be Ebony. Remember? I don't know if you're still working with CareRev, Ebony, but CareRev used to be that girl. CareRev used to give it. And depending on what hospitals you were at, like the night shift was always like clearly more, they were paying more than day shift because nobody wanted to work night shift. So I said to myself, you know what? I am going to buckle down and I am going to put my big girl pants on and I'm going to work these night shifts. And they were anywhere between, I was working at a hospital called Valley Presbyterian, which I don't believe that they're still working with Care Rev anymore. That's why I don't necessarily recommend Care Rev anymore. But in certain states, and if you're actively working with Care Rev, it can work. But now they kind of just changed some things up, so it's not really working too much anymore. But they were paying like 1,200, 1,300 for night shift. And I was like back to back to back. With Care Rev, you're only allowed to work up to 60 hours a week. So that's where the majority of the money from 2023 came. And I definitely went on generational run on that. But as an earnings disclaimer, I just want to make sure that everyone kind of understand that when you're starting out on the PRN path, things can feel kind of shaky. Things can feel like it's not working. Things can feel like you've tried everything and it's still not working. And I'm here to tell you that that is exactly how it happened for me. When I first came to California, there was a lot of bumps in the road, but I'm going to show you exactly how to navigate through it and smooth it all out. So my only goal when I first came out to California the second time was I just wanted to put my bills on auto pay. That's it. That's my only goal. Like, I'm not trying to make $10 million out of per diem nursing. I know it's physically impossible for a job that is so labor intensive that requires the hours to be worked. It's kind of hard for you to really, do 10 million in a short period of time. So I just wanted to put my bills on auto pay. That was always my goal. And I wanted to make at least, I don't know why, 300,000 came into my head. I knew it was, y'all ever had a goal that was so delusional that kind of scares you a little bit? Drop it two in the chat. If you ever had, or if you have a goal that's so delusional that you just have no clue if it's even going to be a thing, you don't even know how you're going to get it done, but you just know you're going to get it done. Listen, Carrie, April, Hillary, Ryan, Crystal, it's going to happen. I promise you. When I dropped this 300,000, I said, Delulu. But little did I know that it actually happened. 306. I did actually a little bit over 300,000, which is crazy. So if you're looking to go on that same generational run and 300K is in your purview, 821 a shift. But this is for those who are working every single day, which I don't recommend. But if you want to work every single day, 821 a shift. Keep that number in your head. 821 a shift. Or do at least 1,000 a day. I always say 1K a day keeps the sadness away. Still does though. So how I'm maintaining this is right now I'm averaging anywhere between 2 to 300 a year. And I currently work with 5 different agencies, which I don't recommend, but I work with 5 different agencies and right now they pay an average of 900 to 1,200 a shift. Um, so yeah, right now I'm just kind of, doing the do. This is one of, I love her for, I really hope she's in here, but this was one of the members of my community who, because I want you guys, I did sprinkle a lot of testimonials through here because I don't want you guys to hear it just from me. I want you guys to hear it from people that are actively in the community, that are going through the steps and that have found success. There's some nurses in here didn't find success as of yet, but everybody's journey is different. And I want you to see everybody's different journeys so you can kind of understand like how this works. So the nurse named Francine, she's in case management because I get a lot of questions about, oh, is it just ICU? Is it just med-surg, tele, ED, L&D? Oh, there's other different types of specialties that we cater to here in the Per Diem Plug universe. And she found me last year, November 24th, 2024, just a little over a year ago. So I say a year and a month. And she told me that she wanted to pursue per diem case management. And she was kind of skeptical. She told me she didn't know if this was something that I can do because she saw me posting jobs. Because remember, for those of you that are OGs, put a yeah in the chat that remembers when I used to drop like jobs back to back to back. Remember? And I remember she came to me on my DMs and she was like, yeah, I always see you post these same specialties, but you don't ever post anything for case management. So I told her, listen, bet on me. That's it. And from there on, literally, if you see on the right-hand side, she was offered a case management position, and now she's a bi-coastal girly. She's a bi-coastal girly now. I don't know if you could do this emoji, but if you could put this emoji in the chat, do it for me. Oh, for those of you who are here for the first time, This is extremely interactive. So keep your chat box open because y'all gonna keep. Ah, Christina did it. Ah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, Wit. Listen, we're gonna do it. I'm gonna tell y'all to drop these emojis this entire time because you gonna can I cook just a little bit? Let me cook just a little bit. All right. This is my girl. She's now officially a newly minted case manager doing the bicoastal nursing. She's actually doing a lot. She's doing a lot. And I'm proud of my peoples. So you're probably asking yourself, what are we doing and who is this for? So this whole night is catered around to those who are working per diem or maybe not necessarily working per diem and you haven't made multiple six figures yet. I promise you it's possible. I promise you I'm not the only person that's doing this. You might just need a little bit of tweaking, just a little bit. Or if you're working staff, if you're working a contract, because I do have a lot of nurses who want to go per diem, but they're afraid of certain things. There are certain obstacles that are in their way that they don't necessarily want to overcome because it seems like a mountain to them. And so they just pick up a contract and say, all right, well, I'm here, but I'll do per diem later on because, this contract over here, it gives me the stability that I need income wise because right now I can't live a life where my paychecks are uncertain. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. That used to be me. And when I'm telling you guys these stories of things that used to happen, this is recent. This wasn't like 5, 10 years ago. This is recent that I literally just kind of was like, when you get that waiting to exhale moment, y'all, for those of y'all that saw Waiting to Exhale, y'all know that moment where she's like, I forgot her name, but the actress is like looking at the gentleman and he's like moving out of his truck and she just like stares at him and like lustfully and she just like, and she just like exhales. That's the moment that I'm trying to get y'all to realize tonight. Is to get you to exhale finally, to realize that light bulb moment. Gloria, what's her name? Gloria? I don't remember her name. It probably was Gloria, the one that owned the hair salon. But yeah, I want y'all to get that waiting to exhale moment to where it clicks. I just want it to click. But yeah, if you're a nurse who wants to work per diem or is already working per diem, not generating six figures, cool. If you're staff, if you're working contracts and you're still not quite there, cool. I got you. Let me cook a little bit. So first of all, for those of you who don't necessarily know what per diem nursing is, I'm going to take 10 seconds just to kind of explain it to you. So per diem nursing, PRN literally stands for pro rata, which is Latin for as needed. PRN nursing isn't a type of nursing because I know someone had asked me a while back, like, how are you a PRN nurse? It's not a position or a specialty, so to speak. It's more so just a classification of employment. Has absolutely nothing to do with the medical field. It's just an employment classification. There's full-time, there's part-time, there's per diem. So all you're basically saying with the hospital or with the agency facility is that, hey, my name is Lovely. These are the days I can work. You tell me what you think. And so the hospital comes back to you and tells you, this is what you can do, this is what you can't do. Or if you work in agency, they'll say, all right, cool. We'll let you know when that day comes where you're working. So all you're basically saying is, I'm not going to work them three shifts a week. I'm not going to work them 2 shifts a week either. But I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm going to do. And this is what's going to happen. And this is the agreement that we have. So some facilities, there's 2 ways to go about per diem nursing. The fastest way to get to per diem nursing is if you're already in a hospital. All you have to do is just mosey on down to the HR office and say, hey, I want to go per diem. What do I need to do to get that whole process started? And they'll tell you this is what you have to do. I've heard of some places that have literally said, no, you can't, which I don't know how that happened, but that's the quickest way for you to get into per diem nursing. The second way to get into per diem nursing is the way that I do it, which is agency nursing. So it's a little bit more unstable as far as the finances are concerned because there's some weeks where you can bang out 7 shifts a week. And then there's some weeks where it'll be like just 1, depending on the hospital's availability because you are more vulnerable to their census, their schedule, their staffing needs, XYZ. So if you're cool on what per diem nursing is, drop a 1 in the chat. I want to make sure we still locked in, twin. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, April. Thank you, Shalonda. Shalonda, you on fire tonight, girl. You're like answering every single question. I don't know what you're doing, but you're on fire tonight. Same thing with you, Alex. I appreciate y'all. Y'all on fire tonight. So my goal for this class, I want to be super transparent. I want y'all to know what we're here for. Crystal, triple ones. I don't know if that's a typo, but thank you, girl. My goal for this class, I just want to make sure that everybody we're on the same page. I just want you to learn ways to exponentially, not just double, triple. I'm talking about 10x your income because it can be done. And the only way for it to be done, PRN nursing. Let me ask you a question. For those of you that are staff or working contracts, what's the most days they're allowed to let you work per week? 3. So they don't let you do overtime or anything? 5. Okay, Ryan. Ryan said 5. Deirdre? No, they don't let you pick up? Why? Kiera Oshner just cut us. They cut you? What they say? You can't work? How's that work? Okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. With per diem nursing, you can do whatever. You can work as much or as little as you like. So these are my actual income earnings from May versus October. So I was able to basically get it to a point down to a science where I'm consistently, these are the screenshots of how much I'm making per month. And this is exactly the reality that I'm trying to have for you guys. Every single month, at least minimum, just think of a minimum number in your mind. Think of bills, think of expenses that are like actual fixed expenses, setting expenses every month. So that way you know what your minimum is. So that way you can just get to it. So back in 2020, before the pandemic happened, like I said, I was living paycheck to paycheck. And so fast forward to April 2020, I was on Facebook literally, and I saw a post. It was like I think it was like 7K for 60 hours, something like that. I was already working 60 hours anyway. So I said to myself, you know what? First of all, this is not real. So I reached out to the recruiter and she was like, yeah, are you ready to fly out tomorrow? And I was like, ah, this is real. Next thing you know, I was literally on a flight. Then there's my dog. This is fun fact. I'm a dog mom. So I literally packed him up and we flew up the coast to the East Coast. We went to shout out to Brooklyn. Brooklyn was my very first travel contract, so to speak. I'm actually a pandemic traveler, so I didn't start traveling until the pandemic happened because I was so broke. I couldn't do it anymore. I needed a way to get out of the hamster wheel. I was burnt out. Again, this is the time that I was working night shift as an ICU nurse, day shift as a home health nurse. Don't recommend it to anybody, but I had to get it done because the bills needed to get paid. I was fatigued. I couldn't understand why it just wasn't making sense to me. And at the point, I was comparing myself to my peers because they were also working like 3 shifts a week and they were making it work for them. But I felt like, why wasn't it making it work for me? It just didn't make sense how I was working so much and it wasn't working. So I kind of got to a point where I needed to solve the problem that I was having, which was I had literally no sense of financial awareness. I was literally spending money faster than it came in, and it felt like it was nonstop. So this is me on the left. Fun fact: I actually, after the pandemic ended, I needed something to control or to make me enough money to where I could continue to. And what just happened? I needed to make money passively, if that makes sense. So I started dipping my toe into the pond of like doing Airbnbs. So the picture that was on the left was of me in my very first Airbnb. And literally around that time that like I felt like I was just kind of spending money like Congress was when the phone call happened. And that was where literally like my life changed in one instant. And that's when per diem nursing happened. But it wasn't until I went broke the second time, like literally, people are asking me, like, oh, you made all this money after the pandemic. What'd you do with it? Nothing, nothing. There's no car, there's no house, there's no big investment account. Literally, I ran all through it because I wanted to be the biggest when it came to Airbnb. Y'all wasn't gonna know me as a per diem nurse. Y'all was gonna know me as the Airbnb girl. And once that failed, I was like, listen, something's gotta give. And it wasn't until the second time that I knew that like I couldn't do this. My plan was to make enough to put my bills. Still, the second time, my I just wanted to put my bills in auto pay. And I'm trying to figure out why was it so hard to do so. And so I had to come up with some type of strategy so that way it could make sense. But not only did I want to put my bills on auto pay, but I also wanted to duplicate my expenses comfortably because I knew that working in California that it was going to be a long-term thing. So I knew that I was going to have to sustain my lifestyle in California as well as Florida, and I just needed to make it happen. Story time. So when the first time I came to California, I went on Facebook and I found a company called Mindless Staffing. And when I spoke with the recruiter, I was supposed to be scheduled to work at USC Keck. For those of you who don't know, it's a big hospital here in Southern California. Credentialed myself to work six shifts. I got a round trip ticket because at the time I wasn't going to do it long term. It just wasn't in my purview at the time. I got a hotel, rental car, got groceries. I laid out my first day scrubs. It was all ironed and ready to go. And boom, got canceled all 6 days. That was the most expensive impromptu trip I've ever been on. I was beyond pissed. I couldn't believe it. And when I texted her back, I was beyond angry and I was like, what just happened? I'm on the flight home and I'm like, come on, I can't sustain this way because I have to come out of pocket with this and I'm not getting paid because I didn't work. And the one thing she said to me was, maybe you're going to have to come to California a little bit longer. And I have to stay here a little bit longer so that the facilities know who you are and they know how you work. So that way, when they see your name as available, they automatically pick you up and they get you to work. So I realized that putting all my eggs in one basket wasn't the way. That's why I tell people, abort mission. If you're coming to another state specifically, if you're living in one state and working in another, don't come in here with just a plan A, have a plan B, C, all the way through Z if you have to. Like I said, right now at the current moment it is Thursday, December 18th at 5:42 p.m. on the Pacific Coast. I got 5 agencies. You can't tell me nothing. I am literally hitting the pavement hard. So after 3 years, it took me 3 years, y'all, because I started doing this in 2022. I started and I failed miserably. I was working at an agency that was paying me $600 a shift because that's what I thought that's what I thought the vibes were. Mind you, we were literally kind of we were literally too close to the pandemic. Like we were right there at the tail end. And so I didn't know that there were agencies that were paying 1,000. There were agencies that were paying 2,000 a shift around that time, but I had no idea because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know who to talk to. And so it took me 3 hard years for me to figure out that $600 a shift is not enough. And if you've been struggling, this is probably why, because you have no idea. You don't have the information. Nobody's there to sit there and like kind of tell you what to do. You've learned the hard way. We've been forced to do it for the past couple years. We're taking lowball contracts. Look at this. I just literally found this yesterday. 2,200 for 48 hours. Of course, this is Florida. So on brand for Florida, right? So we take these lowball contracts because we don't know. We take these low-paying PRN shifts. We go to these apps where they're paying like $300 a shift because we just don't know. We have no idea. We're only working with one agency. We go across the country, aka me. I'm so smart. I paid about, I think it was like 5,000 for round trip. That round trip ticket was so expensive because, mind you, it was last minute. I didn't know that I was going to be able to pick up shifts that easy. I didn't know how long the onboarding process was. I got a super expensive hotel. Please don't ask me why. For 6 days. Please don't ask me why. I wanted to be put up. Comment put up in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. I wanted to be put up. I got this expensive car rental because I just wanted to be so fancy because I'm in California and I don't know why I was like trying to keep up with the Joneses for no reason at a time. It takes a while when you don't know what to do or how to do it. Thank you, Deirdre. Can I ask y'all a question? Can I build you a solid PRN plan in like 60 minutes? Probably less. I'm not going to keep y'all on for that long. 60 minutes. Thank you. 3 secrets. Screenshot fingers. Screenshot fingers. 3 secrets to securing high PRN income. I promise you it's not that hard. Secret number 1 is social media proof. Leverage your social media. I can stop scrolling on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and y'all just like you're doing it for the entertainment. I get it. You want the laughs, you want the decompression time. I got it, but I promise you these apps are going to get you to the next step. Number 2, ask your worth and add tax. These recruiters are here. Some of them are here for your genuine interest, and some of them are here for a paycheck. It is what it is. It's up to you to decipher which one you're talking to and to use that situation to your advantage. Number 3, ask questions often. I don't care who you're talking to. If the person has some sort of a credentialed something behind their name, Ask them a question. No question is ever too stupid. Secret number one, I'm gonna go into depth with this. Find groups on social media that cater to job posts and remain active. I just gave you a tidbit. I just gave you a little nugget here. Screenshot. So literally, all I did was I used social media to my advantage. Did y'all know that on TikTok that there's like recruiters that are there now? I didn't know. Like I'm scrolling on my For You page and now they are on TikTok, literally doing talking head reels where they're like telling you about these high paying job opportunities. They're even recruiting for strikes now. So while we over here, scrolling and laughing and like keying and stuff, you're missing out on like $1 million worth of game over here. I'm just saying. Use these social media apps to your advantage. Y'all seeing me, hey, on Instagram, but you should be using these types of apps to your advantage. I remember story time, Facebook. So the second time, this is after I got canceled for like 6 shifts. I went back to Facebook because I was like, now I got to get my lick back because now you pissed me off. So I took days and I literally locked in and I went into Facebook and I dived as deep as I possibly could, going through so many recruiters who I could talk to about this whole per diem thing because I didn't want to take a contract and everybody wants us to push a contract. Everybody, as soon as you talk to a recruiter, the first thing they want to do is, want to take a contract? Where do you want to go? So I found this agency called LA Healthcare. So it's actually the woman that's on the left. Fun fact, this is actually the day that I decided to book a one-way flight to California. I got to LAX, I picked up my car rental, and I came straight to her. And this is the picture that we took the day that I landed. I look all fresh faced because deep inside, I got a smile on my face, but I was exhausted. I was burnt out. I was like, I was frustrated because I was at the point where I wanted to just be done. But she was like, hey, take a selfie with me. So I did. So I remember finding the second agency to California, and she's actually still in existence. Her name is Larnie. And so I couldn't do it. At the time when I landed, I think I may have had like maybe $200 in my bank account. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had like almost nothing in my account. I knew that this had to work. So after we took that selfie, I said to her, girl, you better keep me busy because I'm not playing with you. And she literally did. Even though the shifts didn't pay much, again, I didn't know much. I literally took it because I saw that she was an agency in Southern California and I knew that I wanted to work in Southern California. So I pulled the trigger and I came out and she kept me busy, but I didn't really make much. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is how you leverage social media. L&D nurses, do you see this? This is how you leverage social media. We've been on this call for what, 30 minutes now? I've started this Zoom call and I just showed you how to make 20K in 2 seconds. 20K a month for 48 hours. This is how you leverage social media. Not the whole, I love the reels and, talking about all these different things, but look at what I just found on social media. So if you're anybody L&D in here, drop a one in the chat if you're L&D. If you're not, it's okay. But take a screenshot before I go to the next one. But this is how you leverage your social media. I'm gonna get to it. Don't worry. So step number two, secret number two. Ask your worth and add tax. Y'all know I come with receipts. I always come with receipts. So I was talking to this one agency. You can probably see at the bottom. It was a agency that was going to take me to Kaiser LAMC. And the rate was like in the 80s. But with the strategies that I used to negotiate, because that's super important, I was able to get the rate up to 95 to 142.50. Time and a half. Literally. See how it says here? I fired my previous agency for a higher rate. Do not get comfortable ever. Never get to a point where you're with an agency and you're like, okay, that's the recruiter tells you what you're getting. And then the first thing that comes out of your mouth is, okay, where do I start? You need to push back. You know in your mind what type of nursing you're doing. If you're L&D, ICU, ED, you know it gets rough. You know what? Sometimes it gets to a point where it feels like it's not worth it. You're burnt out. You feel like you're not making enough. You log into your bank account every Friday or every other Friday, and it's like, where's the rest? You deserve to stop for a second and put a dollar amount as to what you think you're worth. And you can be delusional. 95, 142.50, and this is per diem. This is through agency. It's not like me working at a hospital. I'm still not an employee to this day. Fast forward 3 years later, I'm still no one's employee. Secret number 3, ask questions often. Ask them often. Ask them often. When you are talking to a recruiter, when I'm talking to a recruiter, before I sign on that dotted line, I always make sure that I'm doing everything that I can to get all to squeeze all of the information out. Like a juicer, just make sure you get to the last drop because you want to make sure that you're getting every single piece of information that you should be receiving, such as the rates, cancellations, if there are any callback rates, how often is a facility able to cancel you? If the facility cancels you, do they have a plan B to put you somewhere else? At what time are they allowed to cancel you? These are all questions that you need to know. How do you know that the who is legit? Well, it depends on the name of the agency. Usually, I typically, fun fact, don't like to go to the big box agencies. That's why when people ask me what agency that I'm with, I don't say Aya, I don't say Cross Country, I don't say, any of the super big agencies that are like big names that everybody recognizes because that's not where the money is. Those are the agencies that puts the profits over their nurses. They want to make sure that they keep the bottom line. You want to go with the smaller mom and pop, the who's, the huh, the where's. I've never heard of them. Those are the ones that you want to go to because they want to establish a name in these PRN streets. They want to be the ones to kind of move the needle. They want to get as many nurses as possible. And how do you do that? By raising your rates, by treating your people right, by knowing your nurses by name and not by a file ID or a number. You know what I mean? You want to go with the agencies that are like, who? But also make sure that you vet them first, ask them questions like how long you've been in business, what are your practices, things like that. You're welcome. My total investment, my investment to learn all of this was like, it was a lot. Let's just say it took me about a solid year. Remember when I came in 2022, I came to California and like it just wasn't the math wasn't mathing at first. And I didn't even know when I was literally making the money that I was making when I first came to California, it was like I was still barely paying my bills. Remember, I had to duplicate expenses at that time. So it was like the math just wasn't mathing. If you're looking for a PRN job, before I get started, if you're looking for a PRN job, a lot of this is going to be sprinkled with testimonials because I don't want you to just hear it from me. I want you to hear it from other nurses that are inside the community that are actually doing the things. So I am in Southern California. I'm going to play the video and I want you to hear from actual nurses that are in the community that have done the things and that are getting to results. So let me know, drop a one in the chat if you can hear. I'm going to put the volume up loud just to make sure that everyone can hear. And I'm going to show you two different nurses that are in the community from two different specialties. So I don't want you to think that it's just ICU or just ED that's being pushed out. Job that's high paying in the area that you want to work in, y'all, if you're looking for a PRN job that's high paying in the area that you want to work in, you need to stay tuned because I'm about to lace you up on some stuff. Okay. All right. So keyword is per diem plug, y'all. If you're not a part of this community, I highly suggest you to be a part of this community because not only are in the Discord are they dropping daily jobs, okay? Even talking about strike nursing, they're talking about little resources for housing, resume, all the above. But for me personally, I did the one-on-one session with her and I got a personalized job list. A few days later, I applied to all those jobs and I got not one, but two of those jobs. Yes, I got two of those jobs, y'all, and I'm still getting emails to this day about jobs, okay? So book with her, y'all, please, because you're missing out if you're not a part of the community. Shayline. I'm going to show you one more.
Hey everybody, I am Donna. This is a quick testimony on how fortunate and lucky I am and grateful that I found the Per Diem blog. From the first time I saw the page on Instagram, Lovely has been incredible. She's been awesome. She is the plug. She is the GOAT on Per Diem nursing. I was nervous at first, but then she made it smooth. She made it a very smooth process. I got into LA October 2023, and I've been here ever since. I'm originally from Florida, and I travel back home maybe like every 2 to 3 months, maybe even less than that. I've only been doing per diem nursing. I was kind of afraid at first, but now I'm just like, you know what? It is what it is. Work with different agencies, working with different hospitals, so you'll get your hours. There's some week where it's like, ooh, I didn't get much hours. Then there's some weeks that you are going to get your hours. So to me, it averaged out. But I am so, so, so grateful that I found the per diem plug. From day one, she answered my question. She was like, use my address. You're gonna need an address in LA to, get started with the per diem down here. And ever since then, she's been amazing. So I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, lovely.
Drop the emoji. Go ahead. I know how to cook. I know how to cook. Just a little bit. Who does this work for? If you're living paycheck to paycheck, if you're a high income earner and you have no savings, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The nurses that are stuck in a contract that doesn't pay well, I get it. I understand. I used to be one of those nurses that was working per diem shifts that wasn't paying enough. I get it. The nurses that have no work-life balance. We got to change that immediately. It's 2026. We got to get to a point where you guys understand that like life happens and you are okay to live it. It's fine. There's a part of nursing where you don't have to ask for PTO if that makes sense. The nurses who feel trapped working overtime, you don't have to work overtime. You will work shifts that will pay you enough to where you feel like you ain't got to. All types of burnt out nurses. This is exactly who this is for. Here's some frequently asked questions that I know some of y'all have in the back of your mind. I'm going to answer for you super quick. Health insurance. So, when it comes to health insurance, the biggest thing with health insurance is that you can get your own private policies. I actually have someone who can actually set you up with insurance. Do not let that be an obstacle or a reason why you don't go per diem. Health insurance is like literally the lower end of the totem pole. It's not important. There's nurses that have kids. Fun fact, I used to work at a hospital, big hospital, starts with the letter K. I'm pretty sure you guys know what I'm talking about. She traveled with her husband, who was a remote worker, so he was able to travel for work. She brought her kids and she brought her nanny. So she was literally bringing her kids to every single travel assignment. They were homeschooled at the time. So even though she was able to, yes, Brianna, this is you. So even though it gets to a point where you feel like you want to do this, but then you have children, you have pets, bring them. Bring them, especially during the summertime. I love the summertime because that's when the moms kind of pop out because, kids are out of school. Even if it's just for 3 months, give it a shot. Per diem nursing is literally for everybody. People ask me with regards to um, the income that I make. They ask me, is it solely from per diem assignments or was it from a travel contract? And the income disclaimers that I make are 100% from per diem nursing. As you can see from the previous screenshot, it was the care ref. I used to milk care ref. I'm telling you, when it gets to a point, when you find that agency that gives it, and when I'm talking about give it, I mean like income and the shifts, milk it. Where the money doesn't reside like this. And also people ask me a lot of the times, I'm scared to do per diem nursing because I don't know if I'm going to be able to get those hours. I work 12-hour shifts, Stacia. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get the hours. That's probably one of the number one DM, like the topic in the DMs. It's like, am I gonna get enough hours because I don't want to quit my staff job and I don't want to like stop this contract or like right after this contract I want to go to I was getting my consistent 36 to 48 and then all of a sudden like I'm getting like 2 hours a week. I am willing to assure you that as long as you come out here with the backups that you need, you will not have an issue. Yes, of course, in the beginning, it's a little bit of a transitional period because hospitals don't know you. When you first work at hospitals, they don't know you. So they're always going to go with their tried and true. I was literally in the office signing out at the end of my shift one day, and there was a nurse that was signing in because she was coming in. It was like the crossover. And she said that she had a mom who had just recently graduated nursing school and she had her year and she was ready to start traveling and that she wanted to pick up shifts at the hospital that we were currently working at. And she said, "Oh, I know that she's not getting good luck because, you guys kind of use your tried and true. Like there will be hospitals where they will see your name and they know you're brand new and they will automatically cancel you to go with somebody who's been there for X amount of time. You just got to get your reps in." Hey, I know how to read, girl. We are expounding a little bit on secret number two with knowing your with asking your worth and adding tax. Do you guys know that as a per diem nurse that you're allowed to get stipends, meaning you are not 100% taxed on your shift? Drop a two in the chat if you did not know that. That you can get a portion of your daily rate non-taxed, not touched. You got to get your screenshot fingers ready because I dropped you an agency, I dropped you the recruiter, hey girl, hey, and a phone number. This was the one agency that I had no idea, I had no clue that this was a thing. She was the one that literally texted me and was like, "Hey, at this there was a facility because right now I'm living in one city in Southern California, but this particular facility that she was going to get me in was a Kaiser in San Diego, which is like far, far. It's like a little over an hour drive from me." And the first thing she said was, "Oh, let me get your zip code." I gave it to her. She popped it in. She said, "Oh, it's well over 50 miles. Did you want to get the stipend per shift?" And I was like, "But I'm not going to be working three shifts back to back to back. I don't know. It might be one shift a week." And she said, "That's fine. It's cool. No worries." I was like, "Oh, okay." I had no idea. But literally, you don't know until you talk to people. You gotta like ask these types of questions. Can it be stipend? So going forward, when you're talking to a recruiter, ask them, is it 100% taxed or no? Secret number three, ask questions often. Remember what I said? Ask questions often. Ask questions often. Literally, when I'm giving a report, first and foremost, it depends again on your environment. When you're in California, particularly Southern California, there's a lot of nurses who are registered. That's what they call us out here. Is in other states, it might be agency, but in California, they call it registry. So it's synonymous to each other. It's just interchangeable. And so whenever I'm giving or getting a report, I'm literally like, I'm giving you the up and down look. It's not side eye, but it's just I'm zeroing in on your badge to see if you're staff versus agency. If you're a staff, I'm not asking you no questions. Let's get report. Let's get it done. And if you're agency, I'm asking you 10,000 questions because usually the agency nurses, they're super cool, they're super transparent, just like me, and they're more than willing to let you know, like, hey, what the rate is, what the hours are looking like, are you getting canceled often, what facilities they're going to. Literally, it is the difference between moving up different agencies. I know you guys saw in my previous screenshot where I said I fired my previous agency to go to another agency for a higher rate. Do not be afraid to jump around. These hospitals have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight agencies. It's not just yours that they bring there. And they're all at different rates. It just depends on what the agency sets the rate at. Yes, they get a certain bill rate, just like contracts do, but it's up to the agency to determine how much they're going to pay you because, of course, they're the middleman. They got to get their palms greased. Network. Yes, Ebony. PRN nursing, it used to be hard. I think it because it used to be gate kept. Like, just like anything else in life, a lot of things are gate kept. So it gets to a point where it's like people don't want to tell you the real. People don't want to tell you, how to really do things step A through Z. But I'm here to tell you, leverage your social media, know your worth and ask for it and add tax. Network like hell. You guys know the saying, your network is it is true. It's 100% true. Going into all these different assignments has taught me that I don't know it all and I don't plan to know it all, but I'm going to be in proximity or be in rooms with other people that know it all so that way I can absorb it. I don't ever worry about burning a bridge. I don't care. My nursing is my nursing, and I am convicted in the fact that I know that I produce top-notch nursing every single shift. So it doesn't really matter what agencies you go with. The hospital is still going to keep you. All they're going to do is just change the name in the system. That's it. But if you're worried about it from an agency standpoint, please don't. You won't make money that way once you keep that limited belief in your mind that I don't want to burn no bridge because so that's gonna be the reason why you don't make 2K a shift. Let me ask you a question. If I could open my brain up and give it to you and give you everything that I know, first of all, there's two parts to this. I could either A, give you everything that I know from start to finish. I'm talking about recruiters, tips and tricks, the hidden gems, all of that. Or two, I could just do it all for you. All you got to do is just kick back and just open up your emails and say, oh, I got another one. Would you be all in? Remember, this is 2026. Oh, Christine, I didn't even tell y'all to put yes in the chat and you did. I didn't even tell y'all. I didn't even tell y'all to put yes in the chat. Look at you. Thank you for locking in with me. Thank you. If I could literally me do everything for you, find the jobs, give them to you. If I could literally tell you what to say, what to do, how to dress, how to smile, would it be worth it? We're going into 2026. We're getting to a point where it's like, all right, focus, laser focus. Y'all about to see me on Instagram. I'm about to be on this capital generational run. Capital. And I don't want to be the only one doing this. I want my compadres, my mi amigos behind me. I want to see the content, the text messages, the emails saying lovely. I don't think you understand how much money I made. And again, it's not always about the money. It's about the, I don't think you understand. Like, I want to see pictures of y'all in like Thailand or like Tokyo. And y'all are like, lovely. I didn't have to ask nobody for PTO. I didn't have to ask nobody to do this. I literally just say, you know what? I'm not doing it. I'm not going. I'm not going to work. And the agency just said, okay, let us know when you're ready to come back. This is the type of nursing that I wish on everybody in the group. I did it. I did it, y'all. I did it. I created the thing. I created the thing. It's it's called the Career to Cash Mentorship, where I'm literally, this is the very first time that I've done this. I've never done this before. And y'all know, if you know, you know, I've never done anything like this before. But I said to myself, I did a poll a little while ago and I said, listen, people are coming to me in the DMs because they just don't know. They don't get it. And I literally want to do it for every single person, all 19,000 of y'all. I want to literally do it for you and literally tell you and hold your hand and get you from A to Z, literally. So I decided to create a program. This is the first of its kind. You will be the first person to go through this, where I will literally do it for you. I'll do everything for you. Just kick back and don't worry, twin. So it's the Career to Cast Mentorship, where it's going to include private coaching and one-on-one strategy calls where it's you and me. This is it. This is what we're doing. Week to week, week to week. You're going to get sick of me. You are literally going to get sick of me. This is what we're going to be doing week to week. One-on-one coaching calls where I'm going to literally walk you step by step from start to finish because I want you to be successful. Done for you job placements. I am going to bombard you with high paying jobs, bombard you with high paying jobs. And I'm going to fix your resume like there's no other. I don't know if anyone in here is familiar with something called the ATS system. It's the applicant tracking system. So it's basically AI before AI was AI, right? So when you're applying for jobs, you're basically getting put into like an applicant pool where it's kind of like an AI system where it's like a machine that kind of, or an algorithm, so to speak, where they look through your resume to see if, oh yeah, this would be a good candidate. Yeah, that'd be a good candidate. That'd be a good candidate. And then the next step is when they're taking you to a human, right? So the first step is not a human. The second step is a human. We want to get your resume to the point where they have no choice but to pick you because your resume has been optimized to where a human, a machine can literally pick it up. Again, I want y'all to see for yourselves the nurses that have gone through somewhat similar of an experience and were able to get results. Again, every single nurse that goes through this process, it might not be you make $1 million out of the end of it. Some people just want to be in it for the community. Some people just want to be in it for the vibes. Some people just want to be in it to see, to change their mindsets when it comes to per diem nursing. Because, I mean, it seems as if it's not that deep, but you'd be surprised. Like I said, it depends on the environment that you're in. If you really kick back and think about the environment that you're actually in, if you're around people who aren't go-getters, who aren't hustlers, you ain't gonna be one to. You think you really gonna be, you ain't gonna be one. This is my Angie Lee. She is actually one of my full testimonials. She was able to get her first strike job through me. I wanted to upload her reel. She actually made a reel that was dedicated to me because she got on her first strike assignment through my group, my close friends group. And I was afraid to upload it because I didn't think it was gonna play. But this was actually her testimonial where she said at this point, she hadn't gotten a job yet, but literally the day after she submitted this testimonial, she got on a strike, which which is crazy because I want 2026 to be the year of doers. Can somebody put the year of doers in the chat, please? Because there's a lot of people that say, oh, 2026, this is my year. This is my year. I'm gonna do. And then February 2nd comes and it's like, what the hell? Let's do it over. Because, January was too long. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Miss Samantha Schuler. She was one of the nurses in my community that took advantage of the resume revamp. And she was actually one of the ones that got a job. So some of the nurses that are in the community, they don't want to make $1 million. They want a soft life. Somebody put soft life in the chat. They want a soft life. And I love that for y'all. So we ended up redoing her resume, which she ended up applying for an IV hydration job. And I don't think that her experience had anything to do with IV hydration. So we had to do a little bit of tailoring her resume to present it so that she could apply for an IV hydration job. She told me they immediately got back to her. Immediately. There's a lot of tips and tricks when it comes to resumes. A lot of people just say, oh, just copy and paste the job description. It doesn't work like that, I promise you. There's a lot of different moving components in order for you to be able to get that stellar resume. Because first and foremost, for those of you who have been trying to apply to Northern California, it ain't easy. You ain't getting in. It's one of them clubs you ain't getting in. It's one of them clubs you ain't getting in. Because you are literally competing with thousands of nurses that are trying to get the same job as you. But I bet you your resume gonna stand out though. I bet you your resume gonna stand out. And she's one of the nurses who actually took advantage of the resume revamp. She got a job. Marie Cummings is another example of those who come into the community that don't necessarily look for monetary gain, but are here just for the community itself. And she was actually inspired to apply. Oh, she's one of the probably the most active nurses in my community right now. And she is always like piggybacking and feeding off of the energy of other nurses of like, I'm gonna apply to this job and I'm gonna apply to that job and I apply to that one and I talk to this person. And it's like, it's not always just about the monetary gain, but I want you to know that the mentorship is not just about you making $50 million. It's more so about I want you to know and open up your mind to other possibilities of what you could possibly take advantage of in per diem nursing in general. I got one more testimony for you. One more. That's it. One more.
So I just want to do a quick review for the per diem plug because she's made a huge impact in my life as far as helping me reach some of my financial goals, um, helping me, teaching me some of the game necessary to really win in the PRN space. Um, a lot of the gems and stuff that I pick up from her are things you can apply, like little small things you can apply. Like, for example, she teaches you how to build relationships with like hospitals as you go from hospital to hospital. And that's a really small thing, but it has made a huge impact as far as how I approach my relationships, as far as how I work, as far as how I talk to people. And it really changed my perspective on PRN nursing, not just as a job, but almost as like a lifestyle. So I just want to shout out the per diem, plug. I'm your biggest fan. No matter what anybody tells you, I'm your biggest fan. All right, keep doing you.
Who does this work for? I just want to make sure that we are in alignment as to who this works for. Because I want to make sure that your mind is ready and you're prepared to go through everything that I'm about to put you through the homework assignments, the stress. This is for nurses who feel like they're underpaid or they're probably capped at your current job. I know when I was working staff that there was only X amount of money you're allowed to make. That's it. Depending on your experience that you have, that's it. And those of you that are in Florida, if you know, there's no unions. So it's like you make what you make. And in order for you to make more, you got to literally uproot yourself from one hospital, go to the next and renegotiate your rate. That was it. There was no union backing you up, fighting for you, nothing. If you're a new or a seasoned nurse, no, I don't care who you are. I'm gonna get you ready. I'm gonna get you ready. If you have at least 6 months of experience, come on. If you're working bedside, outpatient specialty roles, as you can see, it works for any different specialty. Doesn't matter who it is. If you're unsure of what your next move is, I think this is the perfect timing because me, at some point in 2019, 2020, 2021, you specifically 2021, 2022, when I was transitioning into PRN nursing, I didn't know. Like I said, I was going through the Airbnb. I was trying to be the Airbnb queen and it didn't work for me, guys. It didn't work. I was pissed. There was nights where I was crying because I didn't know what was next. I was draining money. I literally ran up 6 figures in credit card debt. Not income, credit card debt from trying to go from 1 unit to 10. I was pissed off because like every single month I was getting these American Express bills. I had no clue what was going on. I was drowning in debt. I had no clue. I know I needed to do something fast, and I wasn't quite sure what the next step looked for me, but I knew it had to be something. I knew that I had to be a results-based person, and literally overnight, I snapped into it. This works for all nurses that are looking for better options. You want a clear strategy. No more guessing. Somebody put in the chat, no more guessing. That's it. Time's up. I'm giving y'all, it's a wrap. All of this, I don't know what to do. Lovely, can you help me? I'm not quite sure how to go about da da da. I got these kids. I got a dog. I'm at a job where I'm getting paid like, I think somebody messaged me the other day and said she was getting paid like 30 something an hour. It's 2025. That's it. We're done. No more getting paid $30 an hour. It's time for you to get paid 70, 80, 90, 100, 101, 110. It's there. You can do it. If you don't have a clear path yet, don't worry. I'm going to help you. I'm going to build your blueprint from start to finish. You don't have to worry about nothing. I got you. This is a done for you. What do? I wish there was emoji for this. That's it. That's all I want you to just kick back. Kick back, answer your emails, answer your text messages, pick up the Zoom call when it's time for me to talk. Because I can yap. I'm pretty sure y'all know I can yap. What you're going to get in the mentorship. Private one-on-one coaching and strategy calls. Listen, I am a handful. I am the energy that you see now. You're going to get it like 10x during our private coaching calls. We're going to be besties. Can we be besties in 2026? Can we lock in real fast? You're getting the private one-on-one coaching calls. I am going to literally open the brain, give it to, you. I am literally going to give you everything from top to bottom. That's the value of not. Listen, this is actually priceless. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I put a dollar amount to it, but this is priceless. The information that I'm giving, thank you, Ebony. The information that I'm giving you is priceless. What our members get? You're gonna get private strategy calls with me, a personalized career and income plan. Pause. Emphasis. I'm gonna tone it down. I'm gonna bring it down to a level 5 for a second. Income plan, because I know what it's like to be broke. Twice. I know what it's like to go from Southern Florida to a totally different state across the country and do it broke. I know it. I am going to strategize. I am going to strategize with you a budget. Move on to the next line. Real-time feedback and accountability. Meaning you set that budget, you go through that budget. I'm going to repeat myself again. You set that budget, you go through that budget. That's it. No questions asked. So we will break down what your expenses are, what your expenses will look like if you decide to go across the country. We will literally go penny by penny to see what you need and what I will do to match that. So that way, not only can you cover your expenses and duplicate them comfortably, you're able to have something on the side so you can save, invest, whatever it is that you got to do, and more. You'll be able to know exactly which nursing path pays you the most. So whatever specialty you're in right now, we're going to optimize it. So that way you're making what I just showed you, 5,048 hours for L&D. Who's making that right now? Drop a me in the chat if you're making 5,000 a week for 48 hours in L&D. Me. Stop applying. I don't see any me's, by the way. Stop applying blindly and start getting them calls back. You've seen it. These nurses are revamping their resumes. They're getting called back immediately. Immediately. That's something that should be the standard. It should be the norm for you. You're going to confidently move into per diem. Even contracts. Yes, I do cater to those that are working contracts, but as you can see, 5K for 48. I'm trying to give you, not even trying, I'm going to give you above average. Above average. You can, the 3K for 36, you can do that on your own. Do that on your own time. I'm trying to get you the 4 for 4s, the 5 for 4s, the 6 for 4s, whatever it is that's like the ceiling. You know, the penthouse suites and the big old sky rises. It's exactly where I'm going to take you to. You can create more income without working more hours. You're going to work them 48s anyway. You're going to do it anyway. I just showed y'all there was a $2,200 contract for 48 hours. Y'all remember in the beginning of the presentation? $2,200 for 48. You can do it. You can find that on your own. But that's not why you're here. That's why the mentorship was created, to expose you to opportunities to where you're making 20K a month. You'll be able to get rid of applying to jobs, never hearing back, feeling underpaid and stuck, guessing which nursing path to take, overworking. We're not doing that anymore. We're the generational run that I'm going on in 2026 that I'm inviting you to take with me will be intentional. It'll be, we're going to do this, but then we're going to make as much money as we possibly can while we're doing this crazy work. 2248. How much money and time this saves you? Because first and foremost, I'm pretty sure y'all know, y'all done heard time and time again, time is money. Time is money. I mean, we've been on here for what, almost an hour now, and we could have made what, $80. Y'all could have been on the field right now making 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 right now, but you missed out on that so you can be here with me and hear what I have to say, which I appreciate. You're going to skip months of trial and error. Remember, it took me a year to get here. You're going to skip through all that. You're literally going to press I don't know if you guys know was it Staples? The commercial, the big box commercial where they're like the easy button. You press the easy button and you just get to your destination. This is the easy button right here. The mentorship is the easy button. You're going to avoid applying for wrong roles like the 2,200 for 48. You're going to stop wasting time on low paying options that cap your income. We don't have time for that no more. We have time for you to create testimonial screenshots of you saying, I have 300K. What if I'm not qualified enough? I get that a lot. You'd be surprised as to how many people they DM me and when I tell them about my close friends community and other things, and they'll say, I just don't think I'm qualified to do this. I don't think I can do it, because you have this limiting belief that, maybe, they see me on Instagram and they see me posting all these reels of me working and making, and they automatically think they can't do it, which is ass backwards, but okay. We will put you in position. I'm going to give you my experience. So not only am I going to give you the per diem nursing knowledge, but I'm going to give you the nursing knowledge. I've been a nurse since 2017, so I think I got enough skin in the game. I know there's a lot of nurses out there that have more experience than I have, but when it comes to maneuvering around these per diem streets, I ain't got enough skin in the game. What if I still don't get calls back? I don't care. I am going to keep working with you. I am going to keep working with you no matter what. No matter what happens, no matter how long it takes, I'm going to keep working with you. My team and I will keep revising your resume. Maybe there's something that we're missing. Maybe there's something that I'm missing. We will keep revising your resume until you get the call back of your dreams. So now, next part. We went through the one-on-one and the coaching and the strategy calls. Now we're going to the done for you. This is the career blueprint and roadmap. I'm going to show you exactly where you are, exactly where you need to be, and what it's going to take to get you from point A to point B. I'm putting a number to it, but I'm telling you, this is all priceless. The pain of not having a clear roadmap. This is what happens when you don't do any of this. You have no idea what to do. You're just hanging around. I mean, you can always go on my Instagram. There's free game. I drop free game all day, every day. You can create your own blueprint, but you won't have the sauce. Is what you're missing. You can take action and you can be like me. You can pick up the agency that pays 600 bucks and $600 a shift when you could be making 1,200, 1,300. It literally took me one Instagram story to go from 600 to 1,300 a shift just like that overnight. I found out about CareRev through Instagram, literally, because someone DM'd me and was like, "Hey, why aren't you doing this instead?" Literally. Applying to roles that don't actually increase your income. I don't think people understand when it comes to actually reading contracts. I think a lot of nurses just take it because they see the gross amount and then they think that, oh, yeah, that's great. Yeah, I'm getting paid 3K a week. That's awesome. That's all I need. But I don't think nurses really understand how to dissect a contract and to how to actually get the most out of a contract or a per diem shift. So everything that's inside this career to cash mentorship is you get a personalized growth roadmap. I'm giving you your exact game plan. This is how I'm doing this now. The exact game plan and a clear timeline with a next step check. You know exactly what to look for. You know exactly what's about to happen. I'm here. This is the next thing we're about to do. Why is it so easy? Because I made it easy. That's why. Remember? When y'all go to bed, before you go to bed tonight, do this. That's how you know we locked in. You're not doing this alone. You have me and you have a team of three. They're actually in here, but you have a team of three that are going to make sure that you get to exactly where you need to be. You get a clear plan before taking action. Remember, one-on-ones. You're not overwhelmed. We will take it bite by bite because there's a lot to do. We have a lot. 2026 is literally right around the corner. It's like 2 weeks from now. There's a lot to do. We got to get jumping, get started because typically the beginning of the year, like I don't know what it is about the beginning of the year, but that's where like the contracts are the best around this time of the year. So we don't have time, twin. We got to get going. We got to move. The done for you placement system. I'm doing it all for you. That's it. You don't have to do nothing. Just show up. Just be pretty. Turn your camera on. That's it. You don't have to do nothing else. That's a $14.97. It's really a price. I'm not gonna, it's priceless. We're doing everything for you. You don't have to do absolutely nothing, but just show up. So right now we are at a value of over 4,400. Yep. For the past 3 years, this is what I've been doing. I've been applying to jobs. I've been applying to jobs because I had no idea what was going on. I just did it just because I thought, hey, 3K, all right, bet. It didn't work for me. Why? Because first of all, I was in a lot of debt. So everybody's situation is personalized. That's why I want to do it to where I'm personalizing the process between you and I because I want to get to know you personally. One thing about me is that I value relationships heavy, heavy, heavy. I want to know your name. I want to know your situation. I want to know what it is your goals are. I want to know what your dreams are. I want to know what your fears are. I want to know all of that. And I can't do that. I can't do that in a large capacity. So that's why I decided to open up this mentorship. 10 seats only, me and you locked in for 2 months and beyond if we have to. Because of me, I did this all by myself. So I didn't have anybody to sit down and like bounce ideas off of. What do you think about this? Look at this contract. What do you think about this? I didn't have anybody. So I was just applying to jobs and just working, running that hamster wheel. And I was barely making enough to duplicate my expenses, but not enough to live comfortably. So then that's when I had to work like 10, 11 shifts. I think the most shifts I worked in a row was like 11 in a row because I was only making 600 bucks and I needed to pay my debts off. Them MX cards don't, them MX cards, it's a pain in the butt. So we're going to find the right roles for you in your specialty, whatever your goals are. We'll sit down, we'll do a blueprint call in the very beginning where you'll tell me exactly what it is your goals are, how much you want to make, how many shifts you want to work, where you want to work. If you want to stay home, you want to travel, we'll map it all out from top to bottom so that way I have a clear path and a clear idea of what I'm going to do for you for the next 2 months and beyond. We'll help you submit your applications. We'll connect you. Oh my gosh, the recruiters are endless. The recruiters are endless that are waiting to talk to you. The recruiters are endless. Within the past couple years, I have developed and maintained relationships. It's not just me going on social media and just finding a job. I'm actually talking to recruiters that I have a Rolodex. I have a Rolodex of recruiters. This is my secret handy dandy notebook to where I literally have throughout the years kept in contact with people like Alicia. That's my girl. She's the one that gives me literally some of my top paying jobs for per diem. And I literally just gave that contact to y'all for free because I love you. There's more where that came from, is what I'm saying. I'm literally going to get in contact, you in contact with my recruiters to help place you in high paying per diem jobs and contracts so that way we can get to your goal much quicker. You're going to stop the job board scrolling. You're going to stop the hoping. You're going to stop all that because I'm going to give you the cream of the crop. You know how you guys have that latte with the foam on top? That's exactly who my recruiters are. That little done for you job placement system. Last thing you need is resume review. I don't think a lot of people realize. Have you ever applied for a job and then you just got denied immediately? Like immediately. Immediately. Like you didn't even do anything yet. I didn't even talk to nobody yet. How you know? Yeah. You just immediately got declined. So what we're gonna do is we are going to fix up your resume and interview prep because interview preps are extremely important. We're not about to work on your resume and do everything from top to bottom, and then you sit at the interview and you're like, what do you mean I gotta relocate? Exactly. The pain and cost of skipping this step, months in the same pay range, you're gonna miss the opportunities you're qualified for. Twin, I have so many different jobs ready for you, and you just because you don't feel like you're qualified for this opportunity, it's never gonna happen. You're gonna have strong experience. Some of you have strong experience, but it doesn't reflect it sometimes in your resume, which is okay. We will bring those attributes out of you, so that way you have a 5-star resume, literally. You avoid your trial and errors. Whatever question they get to you, oh, okay, so where do you live? Do you guys even know how to answer that question? Where do you live now? The job is in Northern California. How do you plan on doing this? How do you plan on working here? We do have other candidates that live in California, and I see that you don't on your resume. So how do we know that we are confident in hiring you and that you'll be able to work these shifts? Do you know how to answer that question? I do because I've done it several times. So I want you to walk into these interviews knowing what works. So now Jesus, we have tallied up. We're at the private one-on-one coaching and strategy calls, you and me locked in. Your career blueprint and roadmap. I am going to clear the ice path for you so that way you know exactly where to go and what to do. Done for you job placement. Woo, that's the real one. Kick back and do absolutely nothing. I'm going to revamp your resume like there's no tomorrow so you have the 5-star creme de la creme taxes. We're going to go through all that. Lifetime job alerts and opportunity boards. Keyword on lifetime. 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 For your lifetime, you will always get job alerts and opportunities. So we're already at 5,200, twin. Oh my goodness. If all I did was show you which nursing path actually fits you without guessing, would it be worth it? Drop a yes or no in the chat. What if I was to help you feel confident, qualified, that that's it. I'm ready to sign up. I'm ready to apply. Would it be worth it? If I gave you the space to breathe, options to choose from, control your income, control your schedule, no more PTO requests, who cares? Just do your own thing, twin. Would it be worth it? Thank you, Christina. Thank you, Amber. Thank you, Tasha. 2 choices. The first option was, I could have made this, what's going on? I could have made this super incredibly cheap, take 200 million nurses at one time and to stretch myself thin and just give you generic advice because I'm one person versus 3 million people. There's not really much that I can do as far as giving you that quality one-on-one time. Or I could put my focus, 10 people. That's it. 10 people. Put them with a group of 10 people and actually help them change their career trajectory. Going from only making 70 to 80,000 to making multiple 6 figures. What's one high-paying contract or role worth for you? Put in the chat. Put what's your goal in the chat. Is it 5K a month, 10K a month? What's the perfect contract? 20K a month? Y'all see that 20K a month is possible, so don't lowball yourself. Kiara said 25K. That's at a girl. That's it. 15. Y'all saw with your own 2 eyes that there's an L&D job that starts on 1/5. So in a couple weeks, they're going to be making 20K a week. Some of y'all are saying, Daisha's saying 15K. Crystal saying 15K. Fran said 50. Oh! Be delusional. Be delusional. The perfect contract. You can see why. The deal at 52.8. You about to make that back in 1 month. I just showed y'all. The 5K for 48 hours. I just showed you. 52.85. That is the retail value of the mentorship. You're gonna make that back in 1 month. But what I'm going to do is I am going to drop it to 2,000 for the general public, but not y'all. Not you. Because you decided to lock in today and you decided to take the time out to chill with me. I'm only going to do it for $9.97. That's it. And you get me for the rest of your life. For the rest of your life. Y'all really think y'all can have, y'all want to do this for the rest of your life? For the rest of your life. You get the one-on-ones. You get the resume revamps. You get the job coaching. I'm going to prepare you for every single interview. Remember this? For the rest of your life. You won't have to worry. I created this program because there was one night, and this is just a moment of, I'm just being vulnerable just for a second. Just 1 second, if that's okay. One night I opened up my email and I realized that I had maxed out 9 American Express cards. 9. And I have the proof to show you. When I went into the Airbnb space, oh my gosh, I just thinking about it gives me chills. When the pandemic ended and I wanted to jump into a career that would pay me, passively, because my back was hurting, my hips was hurting, my shoulders were hurting, my neck was hurting, my back was hurting, everything. And so I said, I found somebody on Facebook who was like a consultant and she was helping people get into the Airbnb industry. And long story short, I went from 1 unit to 10 and I literally put everything on a credit card and I didn't realize that I had like amassed that much debt. I didn't realize it. And so one night I was thinking to myself, I was like, how will this ever get better? And this was when I was in California and I was only making $600 a shift. And I was getting emails from American Express and like the bills were like 2,500 a card. 25. If you have a charge card, put a 1 in the chat because there's a huge difference. There's a huge difference. There's a huge difference between like a charge card versus a credit card. There's a huge difference. And when they give you that bill, that's the bill. Like that's the minimum payment. The 2,500, literally. That's the payment. So I literally had exactly. And I just give to that bill count. Now you have 2 options. You can do nothing. You stay where you are. You can guess your next move. You can keep applying blindly. You hope and wish. Or you can get clarity. You can get clarity. Or you can get clarity. You can Kiara says she's tired of being broke, y'all. I don't know about y'all, but she's tired of being broke. And I know, and I used to be the same way. I'm giving you not only a 60-day guarantee, but I'm also giving you a lifetime guarantee. A 60-day guarantee is just the mentorship to go with the cohort. So you're with 9 other different people, and you all are, yes, hold on 1 second. You all are in a group where we're going to literally meet every single week. We're going to meet together and individually. So you'll have me every week. And then you also have me every day because I will give you my personal number. You can contact me. I will literally make sure that the team keeps in touch with you every single day. So that way you will be able to be successful. The real question is, how much longer are you willing to stay stuck? It's December 18th. Usually around this time, people are like creating their, New Year resolutions and things like that. Oh, I'm not going to be broke no more. Never broke again. But then when it comes time to do it, they don't actually do it. And it's like, dang. Don't miss out on that opportunity. Don't let me continue to drop the reels where I'm talking about how much I'm making every month. I don't want to do it alone. I'm tired of doing it alone. And I'm only doing this just for the first 10 people. That's it. Because I want to do this, but more on a personal level. No, this is not for you. Not Jenny. Enjoy the show. What are offers? What our members get? You get the ongoing one-on-one guidance and support, job matching and placement help. You get access to vetted job leads. Somebody had asked me earlier, oh, how do I know if it's legit? I already know. You don't need to know. Remember? You don't need to know. You don't have to know. I'm going to give you access to vetted recruiters and vetted agencies so that way we can just skip past the guesswork. No more guesswork. Somebody put in the chat. No more guesswork. No more guesswork. Thank you. For the first 5 people, it's going to be insider job leads. It's going to be a whole vault. So I have a team member in my team that is, that's her job basically, is just to sit there and to create a database after database with nothing but recruiters, nothing but high paying jobs. So that way we can get you there faster. A done for you application package. Yes, 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 yes. That one, yes. So that way you can have one application and we can actually shoot it out for you. If you would like us to, we can. If you want to fill out the job applications, you can. It's a tedious process, but again, private career audit and rate review call. I will make sure that your contracts, I will make sure that the trajectory that you're going is exactly where it needs to be. And that's unlimited. All of this is unlimited for the rest of your life. Yes, I do offer Klarna and Afterpay. So you can actually get started with just $200. Literally, $200 today. For the rest of your life. That's it. I am going to literally not sleep until you get to where you need to go. So I am going to open the floor up for questions. If you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself, or if you want to, just unmute yourself, or either that or raise your hand. So that way I can get through, ask whatever question you have, whatever question. I will open up the floor for you guys to ask me. If you want to type it in the chat, you can type it in the chat here. The way you just scream for the rest of your life. How do you get PRN jobs in California if you don't have an address there? I got you. Remember? I have the address. I have the address for you. I got you. Hold on, let me see. Hold on one second. You signed. Oh, yes. Ah, what? Wait, Kiara, unmute yourself. I want to know why. What made you sign up? Not just selling your kidney. If you can, unmute yourself. If you can. If you can't, don't worry about it. I'm trying to see where can I go to. Hold on, let me see. Give me 2 seconds, y'all.
Okay.
Okay, there you go.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
No, literally, I told the kidney because you know my struggle with shift med. I have cried for the last 2 months. Moving to Louisiana, these southern states does not, excuse my language, hitting on shit. And I am tired. Like, your girl is tired. I legit worked. I'm PRN at Ochsner and Lafayette. My main job is Ochsner in Baton Rouge in the ER. And I work at Ochsner main campus, PRN in New Orleans. So if anyone knows how the commute is for me, I legit travel an hour and 15 minutes one way to New Orleans, an hour and 15 from Baton Rouge to Lafayette. And I literally just worked 13 shifts, 13 shifts because my main Baton Rouge job will not let me get any type of overtime. And so I've been picking up 4 hours in New Orleans, 4 hours in Lafayette. Needless to say, I worked 13 days straight. We got a raggedy ass $500 bonus, all for the whopping price of, once they cut my check and took out all my taxes and insurance, a whopping measly $3,000. Yo,
For
the
13
girl,
shifts?
13 shifts. That was 116 hours on my chronos. Talk about crying. Like, I am tired, y'all. I cannot describe to you how tired I am. And I watch you and Whitney faithfully every day. And I'm about to cry, so I got to get off of here soon. But I know that this is not, I've been a nurse for 8 years. 6 of those years I was an LPN. This is not life. This can't be life. And to see people like you, Lois, Whitney, like doing the damn thing, man, I've already messed up my Klarna and Afterpay just for trying to pay other stuff.
Yeah.
So like this 997 to me, like I just got paid yesterday, and I'm one of them people that literally, yes, I'm an RN, and it ain't no big money over here. So, like, I don't care. Like, I just have to do what I have to do. So, yes, your girl tired. That's all. That's all I can say.
I don't know, show girl, girl, we tired. Yeah, girl, you're working, and I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that this is happening, and I really, really hope because I know you in close friends. I know you. I know all of my nurses that are in close friends, and I hope. I hope that I know for a fact because I know you. I know you're always locked in, and you're like one of the most active nurses in my close friends community. I already know for a fact that 2026 is not going to be a problem for you anymore. Tell Oceaner bye bye. Go ahead and get them 2 weeks ready. Just just want to make sure. Just want to make sure you know. Hold on, I saw somebody. Was it Crystal? Crystal, you have your hand up. What's up? Can you hear me? Are you able to unmute? Are you in a spot where you can unmute? If not, then you can just drop the question in the chat. You can't unmute. Hold on. I'm going to try to unmute you. Hold on 1 second, love.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hey, girl,
Hey,
hey.
hey, lovely. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I just want to say I'm thankful for you. I've been following you for a year. So like all of this is just like bittersweet because I'm like on a different journey. So just to recap, I was so I know you say you do the 2 month thing. So where I'm at right now is like I'm a NICU nurse. I live in upstate New York. I'm dealing with a whole bunch of stuff in the NICU because I'm like the only Black girl out of like 200 nurses, staff. So like I have the flexibility of making my schedule, but I'm only trying to stay there till April of next year because I do want the retirement account because it's a decent amount of money that I want to like roll into my IRA. But anyway, I was giving myself that time. So now I'm kind of getting into the habit of looking at contracts and different things like that. But being with the PRN nursing, I'm not gonna lie, a year ago I was scared, but I just feel like I'm ready to make the change. But how would it work if it's like, because I do want to still stay in April because I have to stay there for 3 years. So March 27th is like my quit date. Like I can quit as early as March 27th. Um, and right now I have the flexibility of making my schedule. So normally I would work from Thursdays to Tuesdays, and I also got my Cali license. So I did apply for a per diem job in Cali, but I didn't get it. So like I'm now trying to use the 8 days that I have available to actually start doing PRN nursing for the time being. And if it goes well for the next 3 months or so, then I'll actually not consider doing a contract in April and actually doing per diem. So that's
Yeah.
kind of where I was at with like, should I wait to like do this? Should I start now? Like, I don't know.
If you have the 8 days, do it. Just do it. Don't think twice because I don't want you to miss out on the wave of the higher paying contracts in California. The only question to you is if you can physically stomach flying like within a short period of time, because it'll literally be like the travel Olympics.
Oh
But
no, I'm
that's the
always
only question that you'd have to ask yourself. If you're okay with traveling like twice a week within a certain amount of time just to get back and forth, yes.
okay. Yeah, I'm cool with that. I'm normally like so I live in Syracuse, but my family lives in New York City. So like I'll drive 5 hours like after a three day shift or something like that. Like I would be okay with flying back and forth completely.
I look forward to seeing you then. That's really the only thing. That's really the only thing, to be honest with you. That's really the only restraint or the only obstacle when it comes to completing the program and going through actually being well, should they say a bi-coastal nurse? Is just the traveling. Because sometimes it
Okay.
does get a little bit of taxing on your body. So it's up to you if like within a short period of time, if you feel like, jet lag, things like that. You might want to have to take some time out. You might have to do like maybe a shift or two or three. I'd probably say tops do 3 shifts. So that way it gives you what, 5 days for you
Hmm.
to do your travel days back and forth and then actually get adequate rest because I don't want y'all to run yourselves to the ground. I don't want y'all to jump into per diem nursing and then get burnt out again,
I think
but in
I
a
could
different
do
way.
it though, because I actually had like a per diem job for 2 months in the city this week. So I'll work my 3 days,
Woo!
take a day off, go to the city, work 2 or 3 days, then take a day off, and then come back and then work my Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I am
Woo!
pretty flexible and I know I could do it. It's just I haven't done it. Like I'm just so nervous about just quitting my full-time job. That's why I'm stuck there dealing with the racism and stuff like that. And that's another story. But it's just I'm really trying to like be so flexible like with what I got going on.
I got you. And that's exactly what per diem nursing is. It's 100% flexibility. But you got this. This is 100% for you.
Okay, thank you so much. I
You're
appreciate it.
welcome. Miss Fran. Is that my Fran? Is this my Fran? Fran? Go ahead and unmute yourself. Is this my Fran? When I say my friend, I mean like close friends, Fran. Fran? Go ahead and unmute yourself, Fran.
Uh-oh.
That's okay.
Hey, lovely. How's it
Ah!
going? Well, I just had a question. So I'm especially listening to the young lady that was talking about how like the conditions that she was working when she was living in Louisiana. My heart definitely goes out to you because that's some bullshit. Straight up. I mean, I feel like it ain't no other way to put that. Okay, but my question is I live in the South too. I live in North Carolina. We don't make no money down here. And I was looking at going PRN, but they drop your rate down. Like it's like they're punishing you from going PRN. I'm on a broke team. I only make $37 an hour.
Okay.
But they and then like if you go PRN, you only they drop you down to 35. And that's with
Gotcha.
like no commitment. But I've been there for 10 years, was a CNA, then became a nurse. Been there for 10 years. And I feel like I'm just over it now, especially with everything that the Trump administration is doing with the student loans. I'm
Ooh.
worried. I'm looking like, am I going to be making enough money to pay the loans back? And when another lady had spoke up about not being able to get overtime, I've been seeing things like in our WebEx that they do at work. They're making it harder to pick up shifts. So now I'm getting nervous about how I'm going to cover things. But I'm in a small area. Have you ever heard of Asheville, North Carolina?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so I work for HCA, so the largest employer in the
Ooh,
area. And it's only, I know, right? I know, wig
that's
blown back.
fired.
I know, right? And it's only two other hospitals here, and it's hard. I just don't know what to do. And then I'm a primary caregiver for my grandmother too. So I want to pay for the membership, but I'm just trying to figure out, well, how would this work for me? But originally from California though, but family's from the South, so I ended up down here. But
Gotcha.
I just don't know how would it work? You know what I mean?
Understood. Yeah, absolutely. Fun fact. I don't think she's on here. I was scrolling through it earlier to see who the participants were, but I don't think she's on here. Her name is Nurse Keena. So she is from Kentucky, or she lives in Kentucky. One of the two. She was working in Kentucky for sure. And when she first came into the close friends environment, I was like, ooh, Kentucky. Ooh. Like, no offense to those that live in Kentucky. I get it. But she was living and working in Kentucky. And I think she was making like barely $30 an hour, if I'm not mistaken, when she first came to me. And so I gave her a job opportunity where it was kind of like a gig. She was just picking up shifts here and there. And as she was working there, I gave her like little nuggets for her to like to make a good first impression, things like that. And I kind of like, for lack of better terms, like groomed her a little bit. So that way she could be an upstanding nurse at this certain facility that she was working at. It was an LTAC. And it went from her making $30 an hour to her finding an opportunity where she was making 5,000 a week in
Oh,
Kentucky. Yeah. Blew my, if Keena is in here, I don't know, I think she's in here, but if you're in here, back me up, girlfriend. Let me know. Let them know, first and foremost. Because literally, I thought when she told me she was making 5K a week in Kentucky, I almost choked on my water. It's another, it always has to do with just like, you just don't know. You don't know until you know. You know what I mean? So
right.
I don't want, there's a lot of nurses that come to me and they're like, oh, well, I can't move because, I have family members, I have children, I have small children. You can't just pick up and go. So that's why we created the vault. So that way, like I literally have a VA that is literally researching the country for no matter what demographical, what area you're in, you can make the money. You don't necessarily have to live in California. Fun fact. You don't have to live in California to make this kind of money. I have nurses that are in Florida in a certain spot in Florida that are making the same amount.
Okay.
You ain't gotta move.
All right. Thank you.
You're very welcome. You ain't gotta move. Tasha asked me, can we do the per diem for 1 week a month in the Absolutely. You can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. The only reason why I'm working like a dog is because I got a number in mind that I gotta hit. I gotta hit every month and the ultimate target goal. So I got that dog in me right now. But you don't have to. You can do one shift, you can do 2 shifts. A lot of these facilities, they don't care. A lot of y'all, I'm pretty sure, well, 100% of y'all follow me, I'm pretty sure, on Instagram, or if you've seen me on Instagram and you've seen me posting my stories where I am communicating with my agency and I'm telling them, like, I don't want to work today. Cool? And they'll take me back. Yeah, sure. It's fine. I want the same thing for you. I want you to be able to work as much or as little as you. If you on that generational run like me, let's do it. Let's lock in. But if you only want to work 1 to 2 shifts a week, go for it. If you're doing it in a state that is different from your residence, just, take some time out for yourself to relax and rest. I obviously want you to fly out to the state and work enough shifts to where it's worth it, to where you're not just flying out, work one shift and go back. Sometimes that doesn't make sense, but then again, we'll go through it with your strategy call. We'll go through it where I'll tell you, you may need to adjust this because you're making, remember, we're still going through the income part. Where I'll tell you, you may need to adjust it. You may need to work 1 or 2 more shifts. You may have to space it out if you have to, because right now it's kind of looking like it's not worth it. And I want to make sure that every single move that you make is worth it, because I don't want y'all to be like me. I don't want y'all to be the old me, the broke me. Let me see. I'm just looking. I'm looking at the participants to see if there's any other questions. Ebony, unmute yourself.
Okay, I'm a little nervous, but
Hey, you're amongst family.
hello everybody. I've been following you for a year and a half now. And I've been I think the last time I was on your live was with the bicoastal nurse.
Yes.
And so I will say I have been looking at your Instagram stories.
Yeah.
And I did ended up also securing a strike because of you. So thank you. So I just looked at my inbox on Instagram and saw where you had messaged me back. I'm terrible with messages, so sorry. But I did. I actually secured the UC strike, and then literally I checked into my hotel in LA, and I got a message from US Nursing for San Diego for the sharp strike that I did literally the next week. I was probably home for like 4 weeks. So thank you.
You're welcome. And you did all this and how much did you pay? Was it free for you, or did you pay for something to get that job?
No, it was actually free. But the and then after I finished the strike, literally a week later, I got the what you was talking about, the per diem.
Yeah.
And it was for med-surg tele, even though I'm a PCU
Yeah.
tele nurse, and it was 1170 a shift. So again, I am a witness that is true. You get the stipend, the tax-free stipend per shift. So everything she's saying is correct, y'all. So I can vouch for that for sure, just from experience. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. Now,
Um,
yeah, go ahead.
I did send proof also, just so so just because I know from personal experience recently, and this all the strikes and also securing the per diem was all in the month of November. So and they literally was like a week and a half from each other. So I do have a question.
Yeah.
So my question is, because I've decided to, of course, come to Cali and live the bi-coastal life. Um, I am a little nervous,
Don't
like
be.
some of the others. So I have secured a part-time just in case.
Okay, that's fair.
So I have been just, applying and send my resume out. So the part-time, of course, is 2 days a week.
Okay.
It's self-scheduling, so you can kind of pick what you want. One weekend shift a month.
Mhm.
And I guess my question is um, about the hours, as far as, is that standard for California for you to get time and a half after 8 hours? Is that standard across the board, or some facilities have opted out? Is because I've been getting that during the process of applying, as far as like not the strikes and the per diem, but just other positions I've applied to in Southern California.
You know what's funny? The answer is no. My heart is broken. So no. A lot of the agencies that advertise their daily rates, that is the standard, and then the time and a half rate factored in. They're just not giving it to you broken down. But no, some agencies, they don't have to do the time and a half after a certain amount of time. It's not there's a law, but then there's like a bylaw where they don't have to do it. So that's why I have created that vault, so you guys can know the difference between like getting that 1170 and above versus like getting paid 600 like I was doing. But yeah, no, they don't have to. But I took out all the guesswork for you, so you don't have to worry about it. But yeah,
Okay.
they don't. Not every agency has to. They don't have to.
So with the part time that I did secure, it's not the max of the 1,200, but I am in the ballpark between the 9 and the 12. So again, and I think it gave me like a peace of mind to have something just in case I do get canceled. Like you say, you learn through trial and error. So
Yeah.
that's like my little safety net just in case. But I just wanted to say that little piece and tell you thank you.
You're very, very welcome. Thank you so much. I definitely appreciate that. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
No problem.
Steph, what we doing, Steph? Steph, you can unmute yourself. And I'm only
Sorry.
gonna take a couple more questions because I know it's getting kind of late on the East Coast, like 10 o'clock on the East Coast. So I'll do like 3 more questions and then I'll let you guys go. Go ahead, Steph.
Okay, hey, lovely. Good evening. I just had a question. I've been kind of lollygagging, haven't gotten my California license yet. Can
Lollygagging.
I can I still do the mentorship even though I don't have a California license yet? I'm in the
Yes, yes,
okay.
yes,
All
yes.
right.
Mm-hmm. So I am going to connect you with agencies and recruiters that will cover your license for free. You don't have to worry about paying for it. All you got to do is just lock in and actually do the work as far as like filling out the application, getting your fingerprints. Just do the part that you need to do, and I'll have the agency cover the actual fee for you. So you don't have to worry about that. I don't know if you can hear me. Can y'all hear me? Put a one in the chat if you can hear me, see me. I think, did we lose Steph? I think we lost Steph. Okay. It's okay. No worries. But yeah, you can unmute. I thought I was just talking to you. It's okay. But yes, to answer your question, yes, yes, yes. Yes. If you are looking to work in a certain state, let me see here. Hold on one second. Kiara, my team is gonna reach out to you now to send you the link. Ray, can you drop the link again? The link that sends them directly to the mentorship, please, and thank you. But yes. Say yes if you are ready. If you're ready. Drop a yes in the chat. I am so excited. January 1st. January 1st, we're getting started. Like, I'm not I'm not playing no games with y'all. Y'all are getting me from January 1st, 2026 to a lifetime. 2026 to a lifetime. I want you guys to finally be, what did I say this morning? I want to be in a community of doers. I want to be in a community of doers because I'm a doer. And you've seen the results that I was able to yield from being a doer. My situation is different. It is okay if you don't want to say it here, Brianna. You can always DM me because I know we've been talking on the DM, so you can tell me if it's a personal situation. Any other questions? Yes. Thank you so much for so much for being here. It is 10 o'clock on the East Coast. Y'all know I love giving y'all the gems. Remember the 3 takeaways. Remember, maximize your social media. Know your worth and ask tax. Add tax. Network. Your network is your net worth. Please do not be ashamed to, yes, LPNs too, absolutely. LPNs too. LPNs, CNAs. It doesn't matter what your specialty is or what your discipline is, because this is for, remember, per diem, nursing in general, it's not synonymous with the medical field. It's more so for those, it's an employment classification. So all we're doing is just changing your classification status from full-time, part-time to per diem. It works for anybody. Anybody and everybody. I'm going to open up the floor for a couple more seconds. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do something nice. I want everybody in here to drop a number between 1 and 1,000 before I let y'all go. By the way, as soon as this is done, I am going to send the replay with the link. So I'm going to have this up for only 24 hours. That's it. And then after that, I gotta prep for the new year. I gotta prep for my team. I gotta prep for the new mentorship. I gotta prep for the next cohort. So I'm gonna literally be locked in for the next 2 weeks. So I'm gonna leave this offer open for just 24 hours. So you'll be able to get the replay link for those of you that want to replay the gems that I went through if you didn't get a chance to screenshot any information. And so you'll still be able to join. My DMs are still going to be open if you have any other questions. The reason why I'm asking you guys to drop a number in the chat is because I am going to give away a free one-on-one call for someone that's on here. Because I feel like I want you guys to see the value of how this works. And I kind of want to hear your thoughts as to what your plans are and how I can best help you with the journey. I just want to do a quick 30-minute call, see how you do, see what I can do for you. So that way we can get you going. All right, I see 99. We want 11. See 444. All right, thank you, Monique. Thank you, Ebony. Thank you, Michaela. All right, let's see. I won't keep you guys on for much longer. I'll open it up for like 2 more seconds to drop a number. And just because, I don't know, for some reason lately I've been seeing a lot of like what we call the angel numbers. So the number that I had I didn't think anybody was going to get it, but actually one person got it, and it was Whit D. She got it, 444. I don't know what it is about angel numbers, but it's like I've been seeing 444 a lot lately. Whit D, I know you have my Instagram. Just shoot me a message on Instagram. I'm going to give you a free one-on-one. Any other questions before I let you guys go? Thank you so much for hearing me out, listening to my presentation. Listen, the go time is now. Go time is now. We will be reaching out to everybody who is interested in securing their spot. There's only 10 seats. That's it. That's all I got. And I'm giving you the best of me. I'm giving you the best. I'm giving you the best of me, and I'm giving you the rest of me. Literally. My DMs will always be open. Thank you so much for being here. You can ask any questions that you like. Have a good night. Thank you so much again. I love, 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 love you all. Oh, I don't know about here. Good night, good night, good night.